Namaskar. The topic of today's discussion is 10 points on nanoscience. Nanoscience and technology is all about ultra small objects. It has a potential to reshape the world we live in. It is going to bring enormous changes in our life. This could lead to revolutionary breakthroughs in the field of science and technology. Hence, it is imperative to understand the important aspects of nanoscience which are being presented here. Nano means very small. It is 1 billionth, and mathematically we can write it as 10 raised to minus 9. We can prefix it with any unit of physical entities like mass, making nanogram. Time, we have nanoseconds. And length, nanometer. The discussion here will revolve around nanometers. So we will focus on that. We have metric scale in which we have centimeters, millimeters, micrometer, and nanometer. Let us imagine now how small the nanometer is. A sphere with a diameter of 1 nanometer compares to the soccer ball as the soccer ball compares to the earth. To give an idea, please check that my height is 1.64 meters. In India, normally ladies have height between 160 to 170 centimeters. And the diameter of human hair is in the thousands of nanometers range. We can also imagine 1 nanometer in terms of molecules and atoms. 5 or 7 oxygen molecules lined up neck to neck makes 1 nanometers. Or about 3 to 4 molecules of water can be lined up in 1 nanometers. So it is clear that the size of the atoms and subatomic particles is in the nanometers. Specifically, just imagine the atomic structure in which the diameter of the atom is of the size of 10 nanometers. The nucleus is in the range of 10 raised to minus 3 nanometers. The size of neutrons and protons are in the range of 10 raised to minus 4 nanometers and electrons at 10 raised to minus 7 nanometers. So this gives an idea of the particles of nanometers range, and the molecular processes are at nanometer scale. The nanoscience is the world of molecules, atoms, and subatomic particles. Nanoscience is the study of phenomena in manipulating the materials at nanoscale. It is the extension of existent science into the nanometer range. And nanotechnology is the design, characterization, production, and applications of structure, device, and systems by controlling the shape and size at the nanoscale. Here are some magnified images of nanostructures. The materials having the size of the particles, crystals, or any of its dimensions like length, width, in the range of 1 to 100 nanometers is known as nanomaterial. Some examples of nanomaterials are nanoparticles, fullerene, nanowires, carbon nanotubes, graphene, and nanosheets. The most important point is that the same materials behaves differently at nanoscale. As we go on towards reducing the size of the material to the nanoscale from the molecular level, the properties get modified due to the size effects. In a macro world, we know that the properties of the materials are derived by its atomic makeup. Each material is identified by its unique atomic structure and exhibits properties according to its electronic configuration. In this world, even if we reduce the size of the material, the properties remain same. The chemical properties like its color, conductivity, hardness, etc. will depend on the material it is made up of, but not on the size of that object. Think of a copper rod. According to the atomic makeup and electronic configuration of the copper atom, this rod will exhibit some specific properties like conductivity, ductility, hardness, and so on. If we cut this rod into small and smaller pieces, each of this piece will exhibit same property as that of the originally taken big rod. Now, if we keep on reducing the size of this copper rod up to the size of few nanometers, the properties exhibited will be different than that of the bulk or macro scale copper. The bulk copper is ductile metal with very high thermal and electrical conductivity. And the morphology of nanocopper is round and it appears as a brown to black in color. Nano copper particles of less than 15 nanometer size are super hard materials that does not exhibit the same malleability and ductility as the bulk copper. We can also take the example of nano gold particles. This is a gold art piece. The red, blue, green colors seen in this painting are nano gold particles of different sizes. Different colors of gold are obtained by reducing the size of nanoparticles. The color of the gold nanoparticles changes with the size, which can be seen here that 100 nanometer nano gold particles appear yellow in color, whereas 90 nanometer gold particles look green. Similarly, silver illustrates unique properties at the nanoscale. The 100 nanometer silver particles have triangular in shape and they appear red. At 90 nanometer, they look sky blue in color, and at 40 nanometers, they look dark blue in color. Actually, these nanoparticles interact differently with light as compared to the larger scale particles. Different colors can be depending on the size and shape of the nano gold and nano silver particles. So in this way, the objects behave differently at nano regime. The properties of the materials vary with size, shape, and composition of the matter. The properties are size dependent at nanoscale. This means the size matters at nano. The two principal factors responsible for the change in behavior of the nanomaterials are increase in surface area and quantum confinement effect. You can see in a picture, if we reduce the size of any volume of the material, the surface area increases. And smaller is the size of the material, larger is the surface area. So the small nanoparticles have considerably large surface to volume ratio. In conventional materials, most of the atoms are deep within the material. As the particle size reduces, more and more atoms comes at the surface of the material, and that interacts with the external environment. Nanomaterials are more reactive due to their large surface area, behave differently than bulk materials due to the increased reactivity. We know that the electrons configuration in the atom is responsible for material properties. It gets modified if the size is reduced to the nanoscale due to quantum confinement effect. To understand this, see the block of bulk material shown here. Materials are made up of large number of small grains. In bulk materials, the grain size is large. The free electrons in the metal have larger volume to move inside the grain boundaries. Whereas in nanomaterials, the grain size reduces to nanometer range. Hence, the movement of free electrons is restricted or confined to the small grain boundaries of few nanometers. When the size of the grains is of the order of the wavelength of the electron, its movement is governed quantum mechanically, and this is called quantum confinement effect. The confinement of the electron can be illustrated by the example of motion of a quantum mechanical particle in a 3D box. The behavioral change in the material starts when the size of this box reduces to the range of 1 to 25 nanometers. The motion of the electrons is squeezed in a tiny space. The electron confines into the grain like it is attached to its parent atom. The kinetic energy of the electron increases with the reduction in the size of the grain. Smaller is the size of the grain, higher is the energy of the electrons. Hence, the energy distribution into the band structure gets modified, resulting into quantum size effect. The quantum confinement mainly deals with the energy of confined electrons. The energy levels of electrons doesn't remain continuous in the nanocrystal as compared to the case of bulk materials. Due to the wave functions of confined electrons, they become a discrete set of energy levels. This quantum size effect influences the nanomaterials' properties like electrical, optical, as well as mechanical behavior of the material. So nanomaterials have provided us great opportunity to develop new things, new technology, and new applications. The physical properties and applications of nanomaterials are only possible when nanostructured materials are made available with desired size, shape, morphology, crystal structure, and chemical composition. We need to produce these materials or utilize the unique features of nanomaterials. Hence, the synthesis of nanomaterials and structures is very important for the development of nanoscience and nanotechnology. There are two general approaches for the synthesis of nanomaterials. They are top-down approach and bottom-up approach. Top-down approach involves the breaking down of the bulk materials into nano-sized structures or particles, whereas bottom-up approaches refer to the building up the material from the bottom and arranging them atom by atom, molecule by molecule, or cluster by cluster. The top-down approach can be understood as the process of carving a sculpture from a big stone or a piece of rock. And bottom-up approach can be understood as assembling basic units into larger structures. Now comes evolution of nanoscience. Nanomaterials exist in nature and were in use for centuries since ancient time. Chemists have dealt with naturally occurring nanoparticles all along. Think molecules or viruses, they are of nano size. At medieval, artists used gold nanoparticles to achieve the bright red colors in church windows. Atoms and molecules are nanoscale objects. We can even say that we are surrounded by and made of nanostructures. The existence and importance of nanomaterials could not be realized earlier due to the lack of proper instruments and devices to deal, study, and handle the materials of such a small size. Working at the nanoscale with the available equipments in the macro world is like eating a grape on your plate with few kilometers long fork. So, for taking advantage of unique features of nanomaterials, special equipments and devices are required. The discovery of new powerful microscopes made it possible to see things on the nanoscale and also manipulate them. That is how men started working at the nanoscale. Some of these equipments are like scanning electron microscopes. These microscopes have higher magnifying power as compared to the microscopes you have seen in the your biology lab, which uses light rays for making the images of the objects. These microscopes use beam of electrons to form the images and having high magnifying power due to the range of wavelengths where they can work. Some more important equipments which have given rise to nanoscience and technology is atomic force microscope, transmission electron microscope, then electron beam lithography. There are many more such devices because of which the nanotechnology was possible. Nanotechnology is not just simply working at wherever smaller dimensions. As the material properties are size dependent at the nanoscale regime, the concept of tunability in the properties of the nanomaterials has emerged, and it is very fascinating and powerful opportunity for the mankind. These possibilities of designing the material structures allowed us to have an engineered materials. So let me conclude by saying that nanomaterials are not just small, they are different kind of small. And nanoscience and technology will revolutionize the world we live in. Thank you.